It'll be Mourning and Parish. The officials, Jess Kersey, Ron Garrison, and Don Payton.
We'll see if Boston goes to the high pick and roll early in the basketball game. It was a problem for the Celtics for the Hornets to defend in game number 1.
Yes, the feeling is they were not able to make the adjustments. Brown with the rebound. Brown, who sparked the Celtics Thursday night with a series of blocked shots, getting Boston off to the 2-0 lead.
You're exactly right as far as it was his defense that happened to turn game 1 around. 2 great blocks by Brown got the Celtics ignited.
Johnny Newman tried the 3. Charlotte must hit from the outside because the Celtics will continue to double up on Larry Johnson. Here's Gamble with an open shot. And it's rebounded by Mourning. Muggsy Bogues, seeing the opening, leads Johnny Newman. Johnny Newman in his days as a New York Knick had a number of effective games against the Boston Celtics, a number of good ones against a fellow by the name of Larry Bird come playoff time.
And speaking with Johnny Newman prior to the game, he felt it was a matter of getting more shot attempts early in the game that would enable him to get himself off. He scored 5 in game 1.
Mourning got a piece of it, but Alonzo right back. Boston 4 and Charlotte 2.
Charlotte is still determined that they can wear the Celtics team down. They want to continue to push the basketball back, and the Celtics in turn will have to make a few adjustments to try and slow them down.
Nice pass, Gill setting up Newman, and Newman will go to the line.
A guy with a lot of energy in game 1 who started out here in game 2 with a lot of energy. Brown from the guard position comes back in to get an offensive rebound and a resulting easy score.
Foul committed by Robert Parish. So Johnny Newman shooting a couple earlier this season. John set back by a broken hand. Originally a second-round draft pick of Cleveland. Spent 3 years with the Knicks. This is 3rd with the Hornets. Minute and a half gone by, and the game is tied at 4. Here's some pressure by Charlotte.
Same thing that the Hornets did in game 1. Extend their defense, put full court pressure, take time off the clock. What the Celtics are doing is trying to keep the ball out of Sherman Douglas's hands, bringing it up as much as possible because Tyrone Bogues just bothers you out there. Right now, with 9 seconds remaining, they're just getting in the half-court offense.
Shot clock now at 4. Here's Parish to the hook. And rebounded by Mourning.
So the defense worked exactly like the Hornets wanted. Take time off the clock, hurry him into 1 shot.
Alley-oop for Johnson. Got the stick. Larry Johnson set up by Muggsy Bogues. Charlotte 6, Boston 4.
There are 2 sides of it. You can take the ball out of Sherman Douglas's hands. The problem is he's the guy that gets the Celtics in their half-court offense. So you try to put it in his hands, then he has to deal with Muggsy Bogues pressuring him.
Abdel Nabi backing his way. And here comes Kendall Gill. Johnson on the wing for Bogues. Mourning able to field it, but had it knocked away. Good play by Gamble.
You will see Alonzo Mourning running that middle lane down the center of the floor, and they will look for him the entire game.
Brown hits the corner jump, and the game is tied at 6. Celtics able to get back on the transition as Charlotte, every time down the floor, has pushed it quickly. Now Johnson out for Bogues. And Muggsy Bogues drills it for an 8-6 Hornet lead.
You mentioned early in the season, Alan Bristow basically had run passing game as 90%, 95% of their offense. But as the season came down to a close, he started to incorporate a few more set plays. That last basket, the result of basically an isolation for Larry Johnson, who, when double-teamed, made the right pass out.
Illegal defense called for the first time.
The Hornets' problem in game number 1 was not the fact that they didn't get a lot of good shots and enough scores. The problem was they could not stop the Celtics from scoring baskets once they got done running it back. So the effort today will be from the Hornets to play better half-court defense against the Celtics. And there's the steal as a result of the deflection by Newman.
Good look by Bogues. Gill could not complete it. Back comes Brown. Boston now on the run. Brown for Douglas. Game tied at 8, and the Hornets right back down court, and a foul call. The basket will not count. Celtics stopping the break, and the foul was given. Foul committed by Brown.
Well, the valuable experience that Brown picked up this year while Chris Ford experimented with him as the point guard pays off there. He takes it to the last moment, makes the right decision.
And this game has opened with a burst. It's a very quick pace. Kendall Gill, who had a good one the other night, 30 points, season high, 12 for 24, and he's given the Hornets a 10-8 lead. Douglas being played by Bowles. Abdelnaby guarded by Johnson. Abdelnaby with a pretty spin move.
I like what Chris Ford is doing. They knew that Charlotte was going to try and get Larry Johnson involved offensively, so they're going at him immediately at the defensive end.
Alonzo Mourning. Mourning on the rebound. You heard the reaction from the crowd. They were looking for a charging foul. No call made. Hornets 12 and the Celtics 10. Again, Abdelnaby with the back end. Good box out by Mourning. Bogues for Mourning. Alonzo Mourning off to the good start, and Charlotte leads by 4. Now here's pressure by the Hornets.
The tempo right now is exactly like Charlotte would like it to be for the entire game. Score, get into your full court pressure, use up time against the Celtics. The problem with Alonzo Mourning is Robert Parish today feels he must meet him earlier and then get him off that low block. That time he had no chance. It was transition that hurt him.
Parish brushing off Mourning, and the foul was called before the shot attempt, so the basket does not count. 6:47 remaining, first quarter. Timeout is called. Joe Klein working against Sidney Green. Nice ball. Joe Klein in his 8th year out of Arkansas. Man who comes on for Robert Parish, able to hit the fadeaway, and it gives Boston a 1-point lead. Curry and Gill down in the backcourt. Pretty set up. Gaddison will go to the line. Gaddison up front along with Wingate. And Green, Alan Bristow buying some time, but he's getting set to reinsert Larry Johnson.
I'm sure that Chris Ford does not want the Boston Celtics to switch that pick and roll situation and wind up with Kevin McHale 25 feet from the basket and a much smaller player trying to play Gaddison down low. They will make an adjustment on that.
Now, Kenny Gaddison is a player that the Celtics don't mind seeing on the line. Only 60% free throw shooter. And he swishes the first one. Johnson is back. So it's Gaddison, Johnson, and Green up front. Gaddison last year was forced to play center at 6'8". He was the Hornets starting center most of the way. Terribly undersized. Took a beating, but he gave a tremendous effort. Gaddison at 6'8", about 255, out of Old Dominion. Game tied at 26. Minute and a half gone by. Second quarter. Rick Fox trying to go to work on David Wingate, who was called for the block. Marv Albert with the czar of the telespread, Mike Fratello and Ahmad Rashad. From the Boston Garden, game 2 of this best of 5. Game 1 Thursday night. Boston beat Charlotte 112 to 101. They will play game number 3 in Charlotte Monday night. Here's Kevin McHale, who came on just a moment ago. And he's goes to the scoop.
Had a real interesting conversation with Kevin before the game. You know, he's talking about development of moves for Shaquille O'Neal. Talking about how he has to develop different ones, what'll work in playoffs, what won't work. And then, as Ahmad mentioned, he was feeling very good today. He said, I think I can play more than 20 minutes. My back feels the best it's felt in quite a while.
Kevin has been a day-to-day situation because of the sore back. Fox given room. Yes. Boston leads by 4.
It's a different tempo, a different pace for Charlotte when Muggsy Bogues is out of the basketball game. He'll be back in shortly. You'll see them start to push the basketball again, get more easy baskets.
Gill posting up. Fox with the rebound.
See, everything right now is trying to come off the half-court offensive set where the Celtics can dig in. They've got a nice-sized front line out there. Joe Klein, Kevin McHale, X-Man who's physical. It's transition scores that Charlotte needs.
Larry Johnson moves it back. Charlotte opened the game. They're hitting at shots, but had their problems in the latter portion of the first quarter. They finished 9 of 22 in the first quarter. David Wingate buries the jump shot. David Wingate has been a question mark because of a sore left knee. He has brought the Hornets within 2. get the new 24.
And the last half-court play that the Celtics ran was the high pick and roll that gave Charlotte so much difficulty in game one. The last time, Charlotte defended it very, very well. They got their rotations down the way they had practiced yesterday. They didn't make any change. They just wanted to do better what they had tried to do in game one.
Good play by Wingate, coming over to help out. He knocked it away. Last touch by the Hornets. And a timeout is called with 8:16 remaining. First half. Substitutions by Alan Bristow of Charlotte. Muggsy Bogues is back along with Alonzo Mourning. That's Brown firing with the shot clock down to 2, and Fox able to hustle to it. Mourning with the rebound. And here comes Bogues. Alonzo Mourning, who does have an outside touch.
That's what he did in game one a number of times, was pull up in that high post area, foul line, top of the circle. Robert Parish did not come out to get him, and he made a number of those 17-foot jumpers. Today, Parish said, I have to pick him up earlier. That time he was left wide open. Parish is not on the floor.
And McHale throws in his second field goal. Boston 32, Charlotte 30. Again, the matchup, Xavier McDaniel involved with Larry Johnson. Mourning guarded by Klein. McHale over to help, so Mourning is open. Wingate kept it alive. What a play by David Wingate, guiding it to Kenny Gattison. And the game is tied at 32. The Boston Celtics went 48-34 in the regular season, finished second in the Atlantic behind the New York Knicks, 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Shot clock at 5. Fox stripped by Gattison. Fox able to recapture. And Jess Kersey with the whistle indicating the 24-second clock had to be reset and was not on the change of possession. And Boston will maintain possession.
You can see in your low left-hand corner the 24-second clock expires. Jess Kersey waving his arm, saying, wait a minute, that thing has to be reset. Give him a new 24. They have taken 2 seconds off that 24-second clock. They start play with 22 on the 24-second clock.
McHale got it to Fox, but he lost the grip. Alonzo Mourning has been controlling the board. 7 rebounds for Mourning. Larry Johnson telling us yesterday that teammates said he has to be more aggressive offensively. That time the low percentage pass was thrown away, but he's been facing the double team, and he's not a selfish player, so does not want to force, and he's had a difficult time in the first half. Reggie Lewis, for those who may have just tuned in, is not with the Celtics today. He staggered, fell to the floor in game 1 on Thursday. He passed out. Spent the last 24 hours under observation at New England Baptist Hospital. Wingate on a fast break lead for Larry Johnson. Charlotte leads 34-32. And we're told all the tests came up negative, but for precautionary purposes, Reggie Lewis is sitting out the game today. So D. Brown in the starting lineup, and Brown has played well. He's hit 4 out of 7, 8 points. McHale operating against Gattison, and illegal defense called for the second time, so a technical foul will be awarded to Boston. Alan Bristow, the coach of the Hornets, walking it off. Alan Bristow began as director of basketball operations with the Charlotte Hornets after 7 seasons as an assistant and front office executive with the Denver Nuggets. Bristow, a star at Virginia Tech, a second-round draft pick of the 76ers back in 1973. A Denver connection on the sideline. Former Denver teammates Bill Hanslick and T.R. Dunn are the assistant coaches.
Good hit. That's a good hit. Good hit.
The X-Man. And it's Rebounded by Mourning. Charlotte leads by 1. Gaddison from Bowles. So Gaddison has 5 points. Nice look by Muggsy Bowles.
We've seen more than once the first man down the middle of the floor for Charlotte is occupying the first defensive player. That happened to be Larry Johnson that time. It's the second trail that's coming down that they're finding for the scores. Earlier we saw that it was Mourning that scored. That time Gaddison. Big men run the floor hard for the Hornets.
Kevin McHale converting his 3rd field goal. He has 6. Charlotte leads 36-35. Wingate off the crossover. Gaddison had it knocked away. Here comes Gamble. Pursued by Wingate. Gamble all the way. And the basket will count. It's a goal kick.
Tremendous hustle that time by Alonzo Mourning to get back an even challenge, but if you're going to touch the ball when it's on the backboard, basket counts.
Celtics take a 1-point lead. Johnson was working hard for possession, played well. Crowd wanted to travel. Here's Bowles. Rebound Gaddison. What a job by Kenny Gaddison. And Charlotte has taken a 1-point lead. Gaddison off the bench for 7 points.
You know, we mentioned earlier that Del Curry was a much sought-after player from the Charlotte Hornets. Kenny Gaddison, another player that a lot of teams have tried to trade for because he can rebound, block shots, and gives him size up front.
But at the other end, Kevin McHale has been able to take advantage. Bowles' pass intended for Gaddison was deflected out by the Celtics.
Muggsy Bogues would have liked to have thrown a bounce pass that time, but instead he tried to go up over the top. D. Brown gets the hand up, a piece off the finger right there. As a result, the fans felt that it touched Gaddison last, and in fact, they may have been right.
Crowd reacting to that call. Kendall Gill has checked back in. So Gill and Bogues now in the backcourt. Mourning up front with Gaddison and Johnson. Mourning. Alonzo Mourning with 8 points, 8 rebounds. Charlotte leads by 1, and the Celtics want to talk it over. Czar, the NBA has certainly had its share of surprises in the early going of the playoffs. San Antonio winning in Portland. Phoenix losing to the Lakers. Knicks did not have an easy time last night against Indiana.
The Phoenix players even mentioned that in the last regular season game, the Lakers played them very, very tough before losing in the last minute. So why not an upset?
Shot clock is down to 3. 3:10 remaining in this first half. Charlotte 40 and Boston 39. Gamble. Yes. Celtics take a 1-point lead, and Kevin Gamble has shot well. He's 4 for 6, 10 points.
The key there, though, was the read by Xavier McDaniel. He noticed the defensive player had his back turned with the shot clock way down. He just lobbed it over the top. Gamble, eye contact, caught it, made the shot.
E. Brown calling out a play. Brown played by the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues, the shortest player in the league. Parish puts the move on Mourning. Robert Parish 1 for 3 to this point. Johnson setting up. McDaniel is complaining about the back-end move by Larry Johnson. Good defensive sequence here by the Celtics. Now the double on Johnson. Gill with the shot. Yes. Kendall Gill with his 3rd bucket. He has 7 points.
That's got to be a big plus for Charlotte. The fact that the Celtics played excellent half-court defense. Charlotte was not in its passing motion game. They were in a set play, and yet with a number of passes and the shot clock running down, they stayed in it. They didn't panic. They executed and paid off.
It. Kevin Gamble goes to the fadeaway. 12 points for Gamble. He's the high man. And it's Boston with a 1-point lead. Minute 40 to go in this first half. There's the double up. McHale over. Gaddison. And a foul is called on Boston. Boston.
The one thing you can see is that the Celtics practiced yesterday anticipating that Charlotte would try to put the ball in Larry Johnson's hands a number of times. As soon as he gets it, the double teams are there. It's forcing Larry Johnson to look to be a passer first rather than a scorer's mentality. He touches the ball, there's the two-team. He has to find an open teammate to be effective right now inside.
Fouled by Robert Parish, misses the first of two. He's only a 60% free throw shooter. El Curry is back. Curry and Gill now in the backcourt. Bogues will sit down. Addison way off. And a pushing foul against the Hornets. Second.
The hard work, the effort right there, but then the left arm shoves the Chief out of the way, the resulting foul.
Boston ball, they lead by one. Celtics turning it around after the cold spell. They've hit 5 of their last 6 shots. And Campbell was pushed. Hit from behind by Kendall Gill. That is his second. The limit, so Gamble will go to the line. Evan Gamble, a player who has come a long way, a 3rd-round draft pick of the Portland Trailblazers back in '87. Bounced around, played in the Philippines, shuttled around the CBA, eventually signed with Boston as a free agent, and has emerged as a major player. He's the high man with 14 here this afternoon. Boston leads by 3 as we come up on 1 minute left in the first half. Curry off the pick. Rebounded by Parish.
There's got to be a number of coaches sitting home saying Del Curry never missed that shot during the regular season when he's that wide open, because he makes it with a hand in his face.
Campbell tries the 3. Parish with the rebound. Either club has hit a 3-point shot in game 1 or in this first half here today. Douglas with a force. Rebound Parish. Boston with its biggest lead, a margin of 5. 20 seconds to go in the half.
And with only about 4 seconds difference between the shot clock and game clock, Charlotte will try to, I assume, keep it for the last shot.
Shot clock at 5. Out of 2. Johnson changes mind. It's a 24-second violation.
There's that unselfishness again of Larry Johnson, who I'm sure his teammates and coach felt he was going up with it. Instead, at the last minute, tried to drop it off, but no time left for the shot.
4 and 6/10 seconds remaining in the half. Crowd responding to the Celtic effort. 5-point Boston lead. They've scored the last 6 points. McDaniel for McHale. McDaniel looking for position. McDaniel now with the shot. So that is the end of the first half. Boston with a 5-point lead. Now Johnson through the foul.
Don't think that Kevin McHale hasn't had an effect on his teammates working after practice. There's the McHale one-hand jump hook. Abdelnaby puts it down.
Abdelnaby was called for that foul, as Kevin McHale has been working with Holland, who has picked up some new moves over the course of the season. Gill with the recovery. And Kendall Gill able to knock down his 4th field goal. He has 9 points. Kendall Gill in his 3rd season out of Illinois. Finished strong over the last 5 games, all 5 won by Charlotte. Gill averaged better than 21 a game. Parish. Rebound Parish. Boston 51 and Charlotte 46.
In the first half alone, Boston came up with 11 offensive rebounds. They had 47 shot attempts to steal by Gamble. Charlotte has allowed more field goal attempts than any team in the NBA this year to their opponents. The Celtics taking advantage of this game.
Well, D. Brown was fouled. He'll go to the line. Newman called for the personal.
A little fade by Parish, but Mourning turns his head to look at the ball. Parish hustles right after it, and another offensive rebound, another 2 points for the Celtics.
39-year-old Robert Parish, 6 points, 9 rebounds. D. Brown will shoot a pair.
Game 1, D. Brown 8 for 8 from the free throw line.
And D for the season at 79%. Both Boston and Charlotte, good free throw shooting teams. Celtics 4th in the league, and the Hornets number 5 in free throw shooting. Boston by 7. Johnson sets up Mourning, and Mourning was fouled.
You can see how they have Larry Johnson thinking about pass. One player, Parish, runs out on him to take away the jump shot. It forces Larry Johnson to put it on the floor with his left hand. As soon as he does that, he then meets the next player who meets him on the baseline. Parish jumps out. He puts it down. Altonami waits for him. They have him thinking pass first, shot much later on.
Douglas on the foul. Mourning to the line for the first time this afternoon. On the line 15 times in game 1. And he is number 5 in that department. 634 free throw attempts during the regular season. For the first round draft pick of the Charlotte Hornets, second pick overall, behind a fellow by the name of Shaquille O'Neal. And Alonzo Mourning had a remarkable rookie season.
Would you say that he came out of Georgetown with somewhat the same reputation as Patrick Ewing, that he was not going to be a big-time scorer in the NBA?
Yes, a lot of similarities there. In fact, Mourning and Ewing have been very close friends off the court, working every summer, looking to improve their game. Foul is called. It's on Johnson, his first. And looking back at the rookie seasons of Patrick Ewing and Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, though, was on a struggling ball club, as was Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo started out very strong, you recall, and then had his problems in the second half of the season with the Denver Nuggets. Mourning has been solid right through. With a solid start here in the third quarter. He has 8 points in all. Boston leads by 7.
Well, there were 2 reasons why Mutombo faded. One, they put the ball in his hands about 90% of the time. Everything was centered around him when he first came in the league. The second, the altitude got to him. He got tired in Denver.
That's what Dikembe pointed out. Larry Johnson able to hit his 4th field goal. He has 10 points. Boston leads 55-50. Able to rebound after that terrific effort by D. Brown. Johnson from Bogues. What a beautiful setup by Bogues, and words between Altonami and Johnson.
Larry Johnson did not like the fact that he got shoved in the back going full speed, and his concern obviously is the injury that could have taken place if he winds up running into that stanchion full speed ahead. They're talking it out right there. I'm sure the words were that there was no intent to hurt anyone. Larry Johnson doesn't want a career ended by someone taking a deliberate foul against him. A lot of bodies, a lot of traffic, the sudden shuffle pass, and there from behind the push takes place by Altonami. That's what Larry Johnson got upset about. Altonami a little late getting there from behind, shoves Larry Johnson out of bounds.
Altonami now sitting down, replaced by Xavier McDaniel.
Something about don't wake up those guys when they're kind of sleeping out there. Leave Larry Johnson alone. Don't get him too fired up.
Well, the Hornets off those free throws move within 3. Here's Brown. Yes. D. Brown has been on target. 13 points for Brown. Celtics by 5. 4 and change gone by. In the third, now Johnson facing a double team, pops it outside. Bogues for Mourning. And Mourning is fouled. Fouled by Xavier McDaniel.
Larry Johnson just told Muggsy Bogues, you're wide open. I'll keep getting you the ball. You got to be ready to shoot it from the outside to make the Celtics pay the price. Bogues, always looking to give it up to an open teammate, found Mourning in the lane that time.
Alonzo 2 of 2 from the line. He has 10 points in all. Earlier in the season, and we discussed this yesterday with Alonzo Mourning, who admitted he was a bit over anxious. And there was some questions about his shot selection, particularly the outside jumper. There were several games earlier against the Knicks where he had the idea he was trying to prove himself against his friend Patrick Ewing, but his shot selection has come a long way as the season has progressed.
It's a lot for a rookie to come into the NBA. First of all, come in late, miss all that practice time in training camp, so you begin behind the 8-ball, and then to try to read different looks from different defenses up against different defensive guys. The word early was that he wouldn't give the basketball up. You're trying to get this guy headed in one direction. Alan Bristol did a very good job of integrating him into their offense. You can't expect everything in the beginning.
Oh, beautifully done, but McDaniel missed the stuff. Douglas runs it down. Shot clock at 2. Gamble. Did he get it off? No, he did not. It's a 24-second violation.
The scrap, the hustle, the loose ball, Celtics come up with it, but the one dribble cost them on the 24-second violation.
You mentioned Mourning coming in late. He missed all of training camp because of a contract dispute, and then made great strides and had a superb first year. Xavier McDaniel is now 0 for 7 from the field. Boston with a 3-point lead. Charlotte trying to get back into the series, looking to tie it at 1. They head back to Charlotte for a game on Monday night. Mourning called for a travel.
Red Auerbach is up in the stands watching this game, and Charlotte just came down and showed the old 3-man weave to start their half-court offensive set. Had to bring a smile to Red Auerbach's face.
Timeout is called with 5 minutes gone by in the third.
Whether you like Shaquille O'Neal or Alonzo Mourning as Rookie of the Year, the one thing I like about both of these young men, they had great things to say this past season, and it all was centered around team first, not individual accomplishments. Obviously, a solid background for both of them coming out of college. The things that they say are the things you like to hear team players say, which all helps in building a winner.
Johnny Newman was called for that foul. 6:45 to go in this third quarter. And it's Boston with the ball and a 3-point lead. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, and Ahmad Rashad from the Boston Garden. Gamble shot turned back by Newman. And here comes Bogues. Celtics get back as they have all afternoon. Loose ball foul, says Ron Garrison. It's against the Celtics on Gamble, his first.
In game number 1, Tyrone Bogues shot only 3 for 10 from the floor, but a couple of those baskets were those in-betweeners that came in transition. When he pushed the ball down, Douglas backed off intentionally and basically said you're going to have to pull up and make that 13, 14-foot shot. He had it again right there, could not make the basket.
Celtics over the limit, so Johnny Newman on the line for 2. Charlotte now 13 of 18 from the line. Boston is 7 of 7. It is a 2-point Celtic lead. It's been close throughout. At one stretch, Boston led by as many as 7. McDaniel 0 for 7 from the field, banking with Johnson and coming up short. Mourning had it knocked away. Mourning on the recovery. Bogues directs traffic, finds the open man. Gill over anxious, lost the handle. Kendall Gill has had a very tough afternoon. Here is McDaniel. He tried to challenge Mourning, and it will be Charlotte ball. It's the second time that the X-Man tried to stuff, and the shot went astray.
The quick pass underneath. Gill just loses the handle as he goes up in an attempt to try and dunk the basketball. At the other end of the floor, 2 Feelers players challenge one another. McDaniel takes it at Mourning, but no result.
McDaniel is now 0 for 9. X-Man did not go for the head fake, but Douglas had it diagnosed, came up with a steal. Brown for Gamble. Brown on the back tap. And a foul is called on the Hornets.
That's a tough call because Tyrone Bogues, being only 5 feet 3 inches tall, actually, D. Brown can jump over the top of him. And as the ball came off the rim, it looked like D had used his one hand to support himself on Bogues' back in an attempt to try and keep that ball alive. The officials felt it was on the box out.
Kevin McHale is back. Boston has missed its last 5 shots. Brown and Douglas in the backcourt. Parish, McHale, McDaniel up front. McHale comes up high, trying to help. Douglas backing Bogues down. Douglas hits. A post-up move by Sherman Douglas to give the Celtics a 4-point advantage. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third. Douglas went down. Crowd looking for a foul. Newman open. McHale with the rebound. Now McDaniel guarded by Newman, who stole it. He stripped him. Good play by Johnny Newman. Kendall Gill. Yes. Boston 59, Charlotte 57.
You need to find ways to generate offense. One is come up with big defensive plays. The second one by Johnny Newman. Earlier a block shot, that time the deflection, which leads to the transition jumper by Gill.
McHale played by Johnson. That's a mismatch. Kevin McHale with several inches over Larry Johnson.
You could see the experience. He felt Johnson had overcommitted one way. He never hesitated, immediately turned to the lane and put the shot up on the rim.
Nice play. Gill hits, and he's fouled. Robert Parish with the foul, so Kendall Gill has come back strong, hit the jump shot, and now challenges Parish, converts, and will go to the line.
Excellent interior passing by the Hornets. Unselfish play. Newman gives it up. And then as Parish tries for the rejection, the conversion that time by Kendall Gill. Actually, the Chief gets a little piece of it, but fouls with the other hand on the hip.
Third foul committed by Parish. Ala Abdelnaby has returned, replacing Xavier McDaniel, who has not been able to get into it. 1 point, Celtic lead. Pressure by the Hornets. Brown wasting little time, not a good shot. Charlotte with a chance to take the lead. Bogues, yes, and the Hornets lead 62-61.
Here's another one of those transition jump shots when the defensive man is backing up, basically saying to you, you're going to have to make it. Muggsy Bogues answers it with the score.
Larry Johnson to this point, 4 of 8, 12 points, but Xavier McDaniel had the good one on Thursday night as 0 for 9, 21 points for the X-Man in game 1 as he outplayed Larry Johnson, but McDaniel has not done it to this point. In fact, Chris Ford has lifted him and has gone back to Ala Abdelnaby. Charlotte leads 62-61, 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. Oh, what a rejection. Mourning soaring over for the block. And the call here is a foul on Sherman Douglas, who says no, it should be a tie-up.
Well, it started out with the anticipation Abdelnaby was going to turn to the baseline. The teammate, Mourning, comes over to help out his buddy, gets the block, and then it's a wild scramble for the loose ball. You had a number of different calls that could have happened there. Jump ball, personal foul, or a takedown.
Well, Alonzo Mourning, who's 4th in blocked shots, comes up with his 3rd of the game. And Bogues, with the Celtics over the limit, will shoot 2. Muggsy Bogues at 5'3", smallest player in the NBA. Spud Webb is 4 inches on him, as does Greg Grant of the Philadelphia 76ers.
So one opportunity for Spud and for Greg when they go into the game to call for that post post-up play.
Johnny Newman converts off the offensive board, and Charlotte leads 65-61. Charlotte in the midst of an 8-0 run, a terrific turn pulled off by the Hornets.
Working so hard to get the ball up the floor, Sherman Douglas, when he does get an open jumper, I'm not sure if he's going to have enough energy to put one down.
Good play by Gill, doubling up. 5 on the shot clock. 2:51 remaining in the third. Rick Fox over the scorer's table, now being waved on, replacing Ala Abdelnaby. Let's go over to Ahmad.
Marv, coming out at halftime, looking at the Charlotte bench, these guys were all dead. Well, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, they have all come alive. I think they smell blood out here. They are really fired up.
And Alonzo Mourning fired up with his 4th rejection. Newman coughed it up. Here's Douglas. Rebound, Douglas. Knocked out of his hands. It'll be Celtic ball.
There are only 3 players in the league that blocked more shots during the regular season than Alonzo Mourning. That was Mr. Olajuwon, O'Neal, and Mutombo that finished ahead of him in block shots for the regular season.
Del Curry, who played only 7 minutes in the first half, has checked in. Curry still trying to find the range. Did not have a good one the other night. Parish with that high arcing turnaround, and last touch by Fox. So the ball goes to Charlotte. And Alan Bristow now has a backcourt of Gill and Curry, Newman, Johnson, Mourning up front. Crowd trying to get the Celtics back into it. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Charlotte looking to tie this series at 1 and take it back to Charlotte on Monday night, even at 1 apiece. Johnson played by McHale. 5 of the 24. Larry Johnson with a beautiful move, beating Kevin McHale. 67-61. Charlotte has its biggest lead.
Let's go back to that point where Ala Abdelnaby fouled Larry Johnson going to the basket on a fast break. It got Larry Johnson fired up. It got the Charlotte Hornets fired up. They have the lead.
McHale with penetration by Douglas, and then he kicked it out. Kevin McHale, 6 of 7, 12 points. Charlotte leads 67-63.
Again, Charlotte has taken the lead with Tyrone Bogues on the floor. Kendall Gill now, who knocks down the jump shot, has been put into the role of point guard. The pressure will not be the same defensively. It could produce more scores for Boston.
Again, Douglas penetrated. Again, Mourning got a piece of it. Another block by Alonzo Mourning. 1 minute to go. Third quarter. And Charlotte takes a timeout. The Hornets lead by 6. Welcome back to the Boston Garden. It is on to the 4th quarter in game 2 of this best of 5 between the Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, and Ahmad Rashad. The Hornets with a 27-18 edge in the third quarter. They now lead 69-65. Some pressure being shown by Charlotte as Fox handles. Now D. Brown, guarded by Kendall Gill. Kevin McHale setting up. Shot clock at 4. McHale puts the move on Gaddison. Rebounded by Mourning.
Gaddison had done a very good job initially of getting Kevin McHale off the deep and low post position.
Gaddison, McHale with the rebound. Just underway in the 4th. Parish feeling for Mourning. Robert Parish brings Boston within 2. Parish has 10 points.
Just the opposite happened that time. Robert Parish was allowed to catch the ball right on the low blocks. The result, 2 points.
Oh, David Wingate, I think, surprised that he had so much room, was looking for contact. Parish, beautiful fake, and he drew the foul.
Celtics going right to the cheap, the oldest player in the NBA. They get him on that low block position. Not much effort that time by Mourning to keep him off there until it's too late. You let the Chief get that close, he's going to put it down. The next time, Mourning gambling, he's going to go baseline, loses his defensive position. The up fake by Parish draws the body contact.
For Mourning, his third foul. Muggsy Bogues returns. Kendall Gill will sit down. Gill leads with 16. Gill shot well in the third quarter. Robert Parish is only a 68% free throw shooter. Hits 2 out of 2. And he's tied the game at 69. Mourning off the dribble was fouled. Foul by Parish.
In game number 1, Robert Parish had 15 points, 9 rebounds. Mourning, 30 points and 11. Trying to take Parish away from the basket until he can beat him off the dribble. He gets the step. Parish fouls. So there was quite a difference there between those two players as far as point productivity in game 1. Here in game number 2, Parish has 12 points, 10 rebounds. Mourning, 12 points, 12 rebounds. So it's basically a wash right now.
But the foul on Parish is 4th. Mourning has 3. Curry fouled by Fox. Again, Del Curry not getting the screens, and he's had 4 shots. He's very fortunate right here as Rick Fox made contact.
Talking with the Charlotte staff prior to the game, they said that there was so much pressure on Del Curry in game number 1. He never really got a good look, mostly through the efforts of D. Brown. Today they're rotating 3 players on him, but they said it didn't even look good coming out of Del Curry's hand. When you have great shooters, you can see it when it comes out. It's a good-looking shot. The coaches knew it didn't look right. It didn't go in for him.
And the last time these two clubs met here in Boston, a win for Charlotte back in March during the regular season. Del Curry was only 2 of 11. And a foul is called. So off the pressure, Curry picks up his second. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter. Rick Fox very close to a backcourt violation. Alan Bristow with a mild complaint. McHale battling for position. Kevin McHale, 8 of 10, 16 points. The game is tied at 71.
The passing game, swing the ball from side to side, quick ball movement.
Del Curry hits from downtown. That is the first 3-pointer that either Charlotte or Boston has been able to hit. Del Curry with a 3. Charlotte leads 74-71.
It's such a quick trigger that Curry has on the shot. You cannot back off him. You must be up in his chest, forcing him to put it on the floor.
Well, Parish going to the entire repertoire. And a loose ball foul is called. It's on Gaddison. Alan Bristow very upset. Charlotte leading 74-71. Boston with the ball. 9:25 remaining in the game. Kevin McHale guarded by Kenny Gaddison. D. Brown for 3. Rick Fox on the rebound.
As happened in game 1, Boston hurt Charlotte by rebounding from the guard position. That time Rick Fox, coming from the outside, comes up with the ball.
Muggsy Bogues knocked it away, went out of bounds, so it will be Boston ball with 22 on the shot clock. Brown guarded by Bogues. Parish struck by Bogues.
One of the reasons why you want to keep the ball away from Tyrone Bogues, because he's so quick getting those hands in there.
Larry Johnson for Alonzo Mourning. And the foul is called. It's on D. Brown, his 3rd.
Chief tries to put it down and split the defensive players. The problem is Tyrone Bogues is so small. He's right near the ground where the Chief put it down. He comes up with the basketball.
Celtics with their 3rd team foul. Johnson up front with Gaddison and Mourning. Bogues and Curry at the guard. Muggsy Bogues has hit 4 out of 7. He has 9 points. Charlotte leads by 5.
Excellent read of the double team. Swing the ball to the weak side, and most times it's going to be Bogues that they leave open to make the shot.
Parish with the basket, and he was fouled. Foul committed by Gaddison. Larry Bird enjoyed that move by his one-time teammate.
Kevin McHale a little bit too long, but Parish gets up there before Mourning actually gets a chance to get to the ball. The conversion, the foul, the chance for the three-point play.
Charlotte 76, Boston 74. Xavier McDaniel is back. Curry on a quick release. Yes, so Del Curry has hit his last 2 from long range. 1 was a three-pointer. Boston takes a 20-second timeout. Charlotte now leads by 4.
In transition, they set a late screen. They run Curry off, and that's why this 20-second timeout took place, because Chris Ford doesn't like the fact that no one stepped up to help. It doesn't take long for Del Curry to get it out of his hands.
Del Curry, originally drafted on the first round by Utah, played 1 year with the Jazz, a year with Cleveland. This is 5th season with Charlotte. And as you mentioned earlier, Mike, a guy who right around trade deadline garners much speculation. His name has popped up on a number of occasions.
Some teams want him as a starter. Other teams want him for what he gives the Charlotte team. Instant points, scoring off the bench. A guy who can stretch and extend defenses because of the range he has, how quickly he gets it off. So why give him up? Those guys are hard to find.
How about Kevin McHale? 9 of 12, 18 points. You'll recall earlier this season, Kevin McHale has been bothered by ankle problems, back difficulties right throughout. Very unhappy about the lack of playing time. Spoke out about it and then apologized to his coach, Chris Ford, because he went public regarding his dissatisfaction. 1 on the 24. Johnson hits. Larry Johnson with the shot clock running down. Hits from deep. And Charlotte leads 80-76. 5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. McHale working at the same position. He's killing Gaddison now. Same move by McHale. McHale has 20. Boston has come within 2. Now McHale jumps out on a switch.
It's because the word was given by Chris Ford. I don't care who takes him. Somebody get on Curry. Don't leave him alone.
Shot clock at 5. Curry. Mourning is fouled. The combination of Parish and McHale. It's called on Parish. That is his 5th.
Talk about Kevin McHale and the moves he has down low, giving a lesson first to the baseline to Gaddison with the jump hook. You saw Ala Abdelnaby, who learned from him, and then the next time, shoulder in, let's turn a different way, get a look over the top, same result, 2 points.
And here at the Boston Garden, 6:38 remaining in the 4th quarter. And 80-78. Charlotte lead, and the older guys, Kevin McHale and Robert Parish, have done the job. Kevin McHale with 20 points. Robert Parish has 5 fouls, but he has 15 points, 11 rebounds, and off that 5th foul, Parish sits down. Alonzo Mourning to the line. It's a 3-point Charlotte lead. Mourning is 5 out of 5. 13 points and 12 rebounds for Mourning. Here's Kendall Gill replacing Kenny Gaddison.
So many times young people, rookies, come into the NBA and they struggle from the foul line. Alonzo Mourning, who you mentioned, has had a great year in points, rebounds, block shots, shooting over 78% from the free throw line. So tremendous ability to concentrate at the line for this youngster.
And the Charlotte Hornets as a team at 77%. That's among the top figures in the league. 82-78. Charlotte by 4 as they seek to tie the series at 1. Game number 3 in Charlotte on Monday night. Herbert Douglas being forced to work hard by Muggsy Bogues. McHale comes outside. And McHale goes inside. It counts. And the foul. Wait a moment. Now the officials are discussing it. And the basket does hold up, plus the foul.
Charlotte is trying to say that the foul took place while Kevin was dribbling the basketball. The officials had to decide if it was in the act of shooting or not. There is the strip, the hit, and the shot attempt. It's a good call by the officials. It is a continuation.
And Kevin McHale with a three-point play has matched his season high. 82-81. Charlotte with a one-point lead. 6 minutes remaining in the game. Mourning being played now by Fox. 5 on the shot clock. Down to 3. And they'll go. Kevin McHale with the rebound.
Celtics defense that time up, taking away all the easy passes, then the great challenge on the jump shooter at the end. The kind of defense Chris Ford has been preaching all year. They've done an excellent job of playing defense.
Crowd responds as McHale begins to make the move. Kevin McHale has given Boston a one-point lead.
Well, but a veteran player like Kevin McHale who gets in a groove like this, you have to change up either who the player is that's playing or how you're going to attack him defensively. You cannot give him the same look.
They are on their feet. Standing ovation here in Boston. Bogues off the mark. Gamble rebounds. An inspirational effort by the 36-year-old Kevin McHale, who apparently still has some basketball left.
You saw Tyrone Bogues again, the open man who's being forced to take and make big shots for Charlotte.
He will go to the line.
Kevin McHale is the one who called this timeout for the Celtics. He's exhausted. He turned and looked. Larry Bird standing ovation for his former teammate. McHale looked at Chris Ford, said, "Coach, I need a timeout," and he got it.
These are classic moments that we are witnessing here in Boston in the direction of that man, Kevin McHale.
Well, go to school with Kevin McHale and learn how to play down in the post area. The conversion after the up and under move, the reaction from his teammate Larry Bird says, "That a baby, Kev." And then on the near basket, when Kevin gets it up there, Mourning fighting for position, almost gets the roll. He's fouled. He goes to wipe his hands off, but says, "Hold on, I got to catch my breath. Hey, coach, give me a timeout."
And that foul on Mourning was his 5th. Boston leads by 2. McHale with a season high is 27 points. 13 have come here in the 4th. He has scored 13 of the Celtics' 20 fourth quarter points, and Boston has taken an 85-82 lead with 4:40 remaining in the game. Bogues, played by Douglas. They collapse on Mourning. Crowd wants a foul. Here's Muggsy Bogues, bringing it to a 1-point Boston lead.
Well, Bogues turned down the first jumper from the corner, and he cannot do that. He has got to make the Celtics defense pay. He knocked down the second opportunity from the foul line. But I wanted to mention, coming out of the timeout as McHale goes up and misses the inside shot, Kevin McHale looked across the floor at his former teammate Larry Bird. Bird gave him a signal like, "I like it, keep it going." McHale acknowledged him by pointing at him as if to say, "This is for you, Larry."
Xavier McDaniel called for his 3rd. Larry Johnson to the line. Here's Robert Parish getting set to check back in. Parish has 5 fouls. Stellar performance by Robert Parish in the second half. He has 15 points, 11 rebounds in all.
At the airport, Marv, I notice a lot of times you get that cart to take you down to the gate that we're flying out of because of age and, fatigue. I'm wondering if the Celtics could use it to get Parish and McHale up to the table when they want to report in because of this young Charlotte team trying to wear them out.
Meanwhile, here's Chris Ford, very upset. He started to head out to the floor. And now in a discussion with Jess Kersey. I believe he was complaining about the extra substitution allowed to Charlotte. As they did some shuffling, Kenny Gaddison has come on. Larry Johnson has tied the game at 85. We're just coming up on 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The Celtics won game 1 on Thursday, trying to make it 2-0 in the series. Charlotte hoping to tie it at 1 apiece. Gamble. And the rebound is deflected out. Last touch by Boston.
And the reaction from the crowd, they feel that not only one, but 2 of the Hornets may have touched the basketball. Officials saw it the other way. My concern right now is Kevin McHale has had such a great run here in the second half for Boston and has not had a chance to regroup. Do you take him out right now with 3.5 remaining, or will he have run out of gas here in the stretch run?
Oh, strong move by Larry Johnson. And it's Charlotte 87 and Boston 85. Johnson has 19. 3:25 remaining in the game. Now McHale operating against Gaddison. Shot clock at 4. Parish. The game is tied at 87.
That's just what Kevin McHale needed, was for Robert Parish to come off the bench, have some wind, and then be able to go to him. McHale right now is breathing very hard. He needs a substitution.
Gaddison not able to hit. Gaddison gets it back out, and Bogues tries to settle it down as they reset. Charlotte has 5 timeouts remaining. They have 4 in their 20. Boston with only 1, and Gill's pass once again goes off the mark.
Larry Johnson feels that because McHale might be a little bit tired, he's going to be able to go right at him and take him off and into the hoop. And then Robert Parish, when help is needed, winds up coming into the game and supplying just what the Celtics and McHale need, 2 points.
So Kevin McHale with 27 points on 12 of 16 from the field and a bit winded. 2:20 remaining fourth quarter. And Gamble's pass could not be handled.
Gamble got up in the air with nowhere to go. Instead of someone stepping up to challenge him, basically Charlotte backed off at the last minute, took away his interior passing lane. He did not have a good look at the rim for a shot. He was thinking pass, instead the turnover.
Kevin McHale played 26 minutes. And the Celtics able to recapture. Here's Gamble. Yes.
And that's exactly the guy the ball should have gone to, because it was Kevin Gamble that got down on the floor and saved that possession for the Celtics. It would have been Charlotte's ball. Gamble knocked it free. Gamble hits the jumper to put him ahead.
A very emotional performance by the Boston Celtics. Kevin McHale winds down his Hall of Fame career. This will be one of his signature games because of the dramatic implications. He's been a forgotten man in this, his 13th season, but he's come off the bench here this afternoon for 27 points. 13 of the 27 in the fourth quarter. Charlotte with the ball. They now trail by 2. Minute and a half remaining in the fourth. Larry Johnson with 5 on the shot clock. Draws the double team. Down to 2. Down to 1. Gill. Yes. Oh, clutch shot by Kendall Gill. As the shot clock was down at 1, and he's tied at 89. Minute 15 remaining in the fourth. Here comes Kevin McHale. McHale getting set to report in. 10 on the 24. McDaniel can't find the shot. Rebound is handled by Gill. Xavier McDaniel is 0 for 10. We're under 1 minute to go. In the fourth quarter, the game tied at 89. Larry Johnson had it knocked away. Gaddison was stopped by Parish. Here's Mourning. He goes down, and he draws the foul.
What had happened was from the beginning of that play, Xavier McDaniel had turned his head towards the bench as either a teammate or coaches were yelling out instructions. When he turned his head, the player that he was guarding takes him off the dribble. McDaniel very lucky to strip him at the last second. But a second back, with 1 second remaining, Gill goes up, down 2 points, and hits the jumper as time expires. There is where Xavier McDaniel had turned his head. Larry Johnson went by him. Fortunately, the strip prevents the initial layup.
Mourning 6 for 6 from the line. 78% free throw shooter. And Charlotte leads by 1. The foul on McDaniel, his 4th. So the foul situation, Parish with 5. McDaniel 4. Mourning has 4. 41 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Alonzo Mourning coolly hits the 2. Charlotte leads 91. 89, 35 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. McHale for Douglas. McDaniel to the spin. Yes! That is his first field goal. He missed his first 10. And the game is tied at 91. Larry Johnson checking to see if Alan Bristow wanted a timeout. Bristow said no. 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Here is Johnson to the fadeaway. Rebound McHale. They call for time with 4 and 3/10 seconds to go. Timeout taken by Boston. It's their final timeout.
I thought that Charlotte was going to take a timeout to regroup, so they made sure. For the Celtics, they got the ball in this guy's hands, Xavier McDaniel, who has produced so many times in playoff games. That time, the biggest shot of the game for X-Man and the Celtics.
Gamble will throw in. McHale, Parish, Gamble, Douglas, and Brown on the floor. It's Brown who was open, but could not convert. Parish. Time runs out.
The Celtics executed a beautiful back pick lob pass from the side out of bounds, and D. Brown was wide open. From the side out of bounds, the basketball is up, taken out here. You're going to get a back pick from McHale, and then a change of direction, a lob to the rim. It's wide open for no switch that time. D. Brown up, the pass was just a little bit too high for him to convert.
And we are headed to overtime, tied at 91.
Kevin McHale was arguing. Chris Ford knows it's wide open. He sees it. The complaint is, and Kevin McHale argued, they think there was time left for the Celtics to take it out on the baseline still.
Celtics and the Hornets tied at 91. Robert Parish, Alonzo Mourning will go on the opening tip, both playing with 5 fouls. Parish, Gamble, McHale up front. McDaniel is back on along with Douglas. Charlotte controlling. Bogues and Gill in the backcourt. They go right to Mourning, and Charlotte leads 93-91.
Well, Alonzo Mourning even learned a lesson from Kevin McHale. He said, let me try one of these hook shots. They seem to be working for him.
18 points for Alonzo, along with 13 rebounds. Parish to the fadeaway. The game is tied at 93. Charlotte front line of Mourning, Addison and Johnson. Bogues and Gill at the guards. Kendall Gill, Alonzo Mourning from deep. McDaniel for Parish. 1 minute gone by in overtime. Gaddison with a save. Nice play by Ken Gaddison. Bogues from Mourning. Couldn't take advantage of the mismatch. Rebound, Gamble. Kind of a frantic start to this overtime.
Everybody trying a little bit too hard to get the jump on the other team at the beginning of overtime.
Celtics and Hornets tied at 93. Douglas looking for the pick and roll. Gaddison staying with McHale. Now tries the other side. One on the 24. Gamble waved off. Will not count. 24-second violation.
Sherman Douglas is passing up open shots the same way as Tyrone Bowes was. He has got to shoot that one with the shot clock running down. Instead of taking the shot, he tries to fire it inside. You can see that it's on the 0 before the ball is released.
Johnson battling for position with McDaniel. Backs him in. And then threw it out, did not have the shot. Bolt just did get it off and deflected out by Gamble. No argument from Kevin Gamble.
The Celtics did a very good job of stopping the Charlotte Hornets attack. Tyrone Bowes just throws one up on the rim because he's trying to avoid the 24-second violation. And they're fortunate that the ball was deflected out of bounds by the Celtics.
Alan Bristow looking for some more offense, sending on Del Curry, replacing Kenny Gaddison. Just under 3 minutes to go in the 5-minute overtime. The game is tied at 93. Curry with the ball. Johnson, played by McHale, goes right at him. Hands to Mourning. Bowes saving from the backcourt. 3 on the shot clock. Here's Bowes. Yes! Oh, what a shot! He got it up over the 7-foot Robert Parish. Maxie Bowes hitting the floater with the shot clock running down to give the Hornets a 2-point lead.
Bowes actually saves the ball with 4 seconds remaining on the 24-second clock. Now he's got to get from half court into the lane and try and get a shot. He goes around Sherman Douglas. The Chief is running at him, but just gets it up over the top of Robert Parish's outstretched hand.
13 points along with 8 assists for the 5'3" Tyrone Maxie Bowes. Charlotte trying to tie this series at 1-1. They lead 95-93. We are in overtime with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Boston with the ball. They are down by 2. Xavier McDaniel. Oh, nice fake. He drew the foul. Larry Johnson called for his second.
At the offensive end, the ball has been going into Larry Johnson's hands. The Celtics feel if they can make him work hard at the defensive end of the floor, perhaps it will cut into the effectiveness of Charlotte at the offensive end.
McDaniel, 79% foul shooter. Celtics have hit 13 for 13 from the line. So the Charlotte lead is 1. Boston always among the leaders in this department, number 4 this season. Charlotte is number 5. The Celtics today without Reggie Lewis. Reggie staggered and fell down in the early moments of game 1 on Thursday. Turned out he fainted. Taken to the hospital for observation. He spent the last 24 hours at the hospital. It was decided that he would be better off sitting it out this afternoon. He may return for game 3. He's being called day to day. Game is tied at 95. Shot clock down to 5. Down to 3. Here is Mourning. And McHale gets to it.
Marv, you mentioned a moment ago that the Celtics always have been an outstanding free throw shooting team. The problem this year is they don't get to the free throw line a lot. They're right at the bottom of the NBA in number of free throws attempted. In this game, 29-15 in favor of Charlotte as far as free throws shot.
Shot clock down to 1. A minute 15 remaining in overtime. Charlotte and Boston tied at 95, and a 20-second timeout is called by the Hornets.
This time, Alan Bristow has decided with the basketball in possession and a tie score, he's not going to take any chances. He's taking the timeout. He's going to set up a play that the team can execute so everyone has confidence in what they're trying to do.
You pop out. You pop out. Get
During the course games of the regular season, the Celtics beat the Hornets in 3 out of 4. However, Charlotte did win here in Boston in the last meeting in mid-March. Overall, Boston has won 18 of 21 against Charlotte in the 5-year history of this franchise, and they have won 10 of 11 here in Boston. The Hornets with 17 on the shot clock. We're coming up on a minute to go in overtime. Larry Johnson showing quickness, whipping around McHale to give the Hornets a 97-95 lead.
Chris Ford tells his team, come right back down and let's try and attack without letting Charlotte set up their defense. They're trying to go McHale against Larry Johnson.
McHale. Last touched by Curry.
Now Chris Ford will take the timeout to set up a play from out of bounds underneath with 7 seconds remaining on the 24-second clock. What did Alan Bristow set up in their timeout? It was to get the ball down low to Larry Johnson. And Larry, don't wait and try and back him down. Make a quick move on McHale. It pays off with 2 points.
It has been a close game right throughout. At one point, the Celtics led by as many as 7. Charlotte also led by 7. Kevin McHale providing inspiration with a fourth-quarter run that helped to bring the Celtics back. McHale has scored 27. That is a season high. McHale 12 of 17 from the field. Robert Parish has 19 points. Kevin Gamble has 16. Charlotte led by Larry Johnson with 21. Alonzo Mourning and Kendall Gill each have 18. 7 on the shot clock as Gamble inbounds. Down to 5. Here's D. Brown. And the call is last touched by the Celtics. It will be Charlotte ball. They lead by 2 with 45 seconds remaining in this overtime session.
So if you're the Boston Celtics right now, what you're doing is you're saying you want to dig in, you want to get a stop defensively, and then there's plenty of time remaining to come down and get a good shot and either tie or try and win this thing. But the first thing is dig in defensively and stop them.
Johnson played by McHale. Here's Curry. Douglas gets to it on the back tap. Boston with an opportunity to tie. Boston has 1 timeout remaining. Charlotte with 3.
Sherman Douglas didn't really get a chance to look at Chris Ford, so they're making this play up on the fly.
Gamble for 3. Parish with the rebound off the fake. McHale fires. Yes! He's tied the game at 97. 6 seconds remaining in overtime, and Charlotte calls for time.
You could see Sherman Douglas run over to Chris Ford as they were coming off the floor just then and asking Chris Ford, look, I didn't hear what you said. We just tried to get it into something, so we got a shot. But it was the 2 old-timers, Parish, who takes the first shot and misses, but McHale, the long arms, the reach, over the top of Larry Johnson, the extra effort, and then the 2 points. And you think his former teammate Larry Bird liked it? Just keep it alive. Yeah, it's good. A couple ways to look at it. If you're Charlotte, you might want to put the ball in the hands of Tyrone Bogues with 6 seconds remaining. That's like giving Boguesy 12 seconds to dribble penetrate. Boston has no one that can really play him off the dribble, so you let him break down the defense. There's time for him to draw somebody, kick to an open teammate. On the other hand, the leading scorer is Larry Johnson with 21 points. He's your main go-to guy. It'll be interesting to see which way they go. Get it to Bogues or go to the main man, Larry Johnson, initially.
Charlotte does have 2 timeouts remaining. Boston with 1. 6 seconds to go in overtime. Game tied at 97. Gill played by Brown. And a foul call.
Boston had a foul to give. That's okay. What they did is they used up time off the game clock. They brought it down now under 3 seconds. Now Charlotte will have to take it back out again.
2 6/10 seconds remaining, so that stopped the sequence. Good foul given by D. Brown. Kevin McHale is back now, providing the effect on the inbounds, trying to make it difficult for Gill to get it in.
They don't want to throw it the sideline right into the post, which that's what they're doing.
Here's Johnson with the shot. And we go to a second overtime. Larry Johnson had the opportunity to win it.
McHale is on the ball so that Charlotte doesn't get a good look into the postman. As soon as Charlotte spreads, it goes directly from the side out into Larry Johnson, who gets a wide open look. Parish with the stretch, the challenge. Is it in? No, it's back of the rim. We go into the next overtime.
Charlotte ball. Boston has been able to hang in because of the job they've done off the boards and at the foul line, where they have been perfect. They have not shot well at 40%. Charlotte at 48. Kendall Gill rebounded by Robert Parish. Parish playing with 5 fouls. Chris Ford wants the Celtics to push it down to the hole.
You mentioned the 23 offensive rebounds, and earlier we had mentioned that Charlotte has given up more shot attempts to their opponents than any team in the NBA this season. For the Celtics, that was shot number 103 for this basketball game.
But, as I mentioned, they have shot only 40%. So the large number of shots do not have any meaning unless you are hitting. And Boston is 0 for 4 in the second overtime. Johnson posting up. Shot clock at 3. Gill trying to go glass. Parish with the rebound. That is his 15th rebound. And again, the Celtics with a chance to tie with just under 2 minutes to go in the second overtime. D. Brown, played by Kendall Gill. Larry Johnson now involved with Kevin McHale. McHale will go to the line. The foul committed by Gill.
There's another way of looking at that 103, 104 shot attempts. If you're the coach that is coaching a team that's shooting only 40%, you tell your team, all right, we're having a bad afternoon shooting the basketball, but because you're working so hard, getting us so many more shots at the basket, we're able to hang in this basketball game. Keep on working, stay on the offensive boards.
McHale 3 of 3 from the line. Charlotte maintaining the 2-point lead. A minute 38 to go in the second overtime. That's the first free throw miss by the Celtics. They hit their first 15. The Celtics trail by 1. 30 points for McHale, a season high. Minute and a half to go in the second overtime. Johnson guarded by McHale. Johnson. And Douglas takes for the Celtics.
Kevin McHale was cheering harder than anyone for Sherman Douglas to go get that basketball because he was in cement. There was no way that Kevin could chase it down in the corner.
Well, the combination of 36-year-old Kevin McHale, 39-year-old Robert Parish have accounted for 49 of the Celtics' 98 points this afternoon.
Kevin McHale has played 31 minutes this afternoon. He has gone 40 minutes only one time this entire season. He has gone 30 or more minutes only 13 times this season. So I guess he should be a little bit tired.
Correction on the timeouts. Boston, as you just saw, with 2 left. Charlotte with 2 left. 1 point, Charlotte lead. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the second overtime. Shot clock at 5. Brown with an open shot. Brown missing the last couple. He's had the chances, had good shots.
Those are shots that normally Reggie Lewis would be taking for this Celtic team. But at the same time, if Reggie Lewis were here, they may not be doubling off and leave him wide open.
Brown started hot, but has not been able to hit. Gill for Gaddison. Kept alive by Gaddison. And Charlotte with a new 24. They lead by 1. 15 out of 24, 19 remaining in the second overtime.
I don't know if they can let this shot clock run down. You may have to go after him right now and commit the foul. Otherwise, it's only going to be about 3 seconds differential.
Here's Johnson. Gill, 1 on the 24. Gill fires. Rebound Parish. And the Celtics with 2 in the second overtime call for time.
They gambled that time on the Celtics' part. They dug in, played solid defense, did not let the foul immediately, so now they have 2 seconds remaining. The battle, the scramble for the ball, and off the fingertips that time, out of bounds.
So now Rick Fox will be the trigger man. He will look to throw in.
A big man on the ball, Mike Jaminski, so you don't give Fox a good look. He cannot move on that sideline or it's a violation.
Jaminski had not played at all today. Here's Fox. It's Brown again for 3, and that will wreck it. D. Brown finishes 1 for his last 10 after the good start. And in double overtime, the Charlotte Hornets with their first ever playoff victory. They have defeated the Boston Celtics by the score of 99-98, and they even the series at 1. Game 3 in Charlotte Monday night at 8 o'clock. Marv Albert with Mike Fratello and Ahmad Rashad saying so long from Boston. In double overtime, it's the Hornets by 1.